Why did Roxy assume that Kris was truth? She didn't even give Cyrus the benefit of the doubt. Roxy didn't take the time to ask, okay, I see two of you are in this picture. Which one of you are truth? She automatically assumed that Kris was truth. But of course, it goes into different bias and how we all tend to judge a book by its cover. This moment subtly reflects how individuals are conditioned to identify talent by looks even before they listen to a single word. Roxy's belief that Kris embodies truth rather than Cyrus delves into a profound layer beyond mere miscommunication. It reveals a recurring theme. We don't merely hear with our ears. We first observe with our eyes. Society has already provided us with a visual template of how talent, confidence, and desirability are meant to appear.
Christ's love isn't like everybody else's love. It's not like the world's love. The world's love loves you when you do things right or when you do things with them. But as soon as you make a mistake, they take that love away. But what I've experienced with the love of Christ is that it loves first. It loves through wrongdoing. It loves when you shouldn't be loved anymore. It's unconditional. And that's the love that I believe is going to change the world and has changed me.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Micaiah. I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black and I'm back and I'm black.
Yo, Sasha here. Excuse me? Supermodels do not fly business class. Now, I'm not gonna demand a private jet, but I think Jag could at least spring for first class.
And today I am bringing you all another video diving into one of my favorite Disney Channel original movies, which is Let It Shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I love Let It Shine. It literally is such a great film that still hits till this day. It's honestly one of my favorite movies, not even just one of my favorite DCOMs. It's honestly one of my favorite movies. That's how much this has played a big part in my childhood. And it's a cozy watch and the music slaps. So how could you not like it? But I will be touching on today about like societal issues and optics that run into this film. And one of the things that I've always pondered is, why did Roxy assume that Kris was truth? She didn't even give Cyrus the benefit of the doubt. Roxy didn't take the time to ask, okay, I see two of you are in this picture. Which one of you are truth? She automatically assumed that Kris was truth. I understand when it comes to optics, and Kris was evidently more confident than Cyrus was. That was Cyrus's biggest issue within this, was his lack of confidence, and from him shying away from showing the world who he truly is. And of course, that's how we built on this whole film. But for him to even allow Kris to proclaim to be truth was already an issue in itself. And that goes into a whole bunch of different conversations when it comes to Cyrus and Kris's relationship. However, for me, Roxy was already within the spotlight. So I know she fed into a lot of optics and different things like that when it comes to how people present themselves. However, she knew how it felt to wear a mask, and her manager and the label had her dressed up all extra and all this different kind of stuff. She knows, like, within the industry, people fake things and they wear a persona. So I was just interested as to why she didn't really take the time to see who it was, rather than assuming that it was Kris. Also, if I was Cyrus, I wouldn't have sent in a picture of me and my best friend. But I also think too, because of his confidence, because I know that's like a thing people always say, like, why did he send a picture with him and his best friend? Like, why didn't he send a picture by himself? However, I think because of Cyrus' confidence, he did not take pictures of himself like that. And not to say you're less confident if you don't take pictures, because some people just don't care to be in front of the camera. However, with him, that was probably one of the only pictures he had, because he really wasn't that confident within himself. But before I dive deeper into the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to see more of me. And if you're new, hey. And if you're a returner, I really, truly appreciate the love. If you get the chance, please check out my social media platforms down within the description box and on the screen, where I display my passion for fashion along with other interests that I have. And for all who are new, you should know I do an array of topics. I am extremely diverse. I do more nerdy topics, I do nostalgic topics, and I do more conscious topics. Plus, I dibble and dabble within vlogs. So we do a little bit of everything around here. Your girl. So let's get back into the video. Kris embodies the cool guy archetype more distinctly. He exudes a greater sense of confidence, which is conventionally refined and easily recognized in social settings. Therefore, when Roxy is introduced to the concept of daring, emotionally expressive rapper like Truth, her imagination conjures up someone who aligns with that portrayal. Cyrus, in contrast, represents what one may refer to as an invisible genius archetype. He is reflective, more reserved, and somewhat uncertain about himself. His intelligence is deeply rooted within, but since it lacks the outward display of confidence or typical charm, it often goes unnoticed, not due to its absence, but because it doesn't present itself in the manner that society has come to anticipate. Cyrus possesses great value. What he lacks is acknowledgement. Society frequently equates visibility with significance. When you don't instantly come across as impressive, individuals are reluctant to perceive any depth in you. Roxy's assumption isn't merely a reflection of shallowness. Rather, it stems from her social conditioning. She reacts to the signals she has learned. Confidence equates to competence. Style signifies substance. Outward boldness indicates inner depth. However, Let It Shine turns this notion on its head. Cyrus expresses himself with vulnerability, faith, and genuine authenticity. His words carry significant weight as they stem from real emotions rather than mere performance. In contrast, Kris, while undeniably charismatic, begins by portraying a version of himself that feels incomplete. The film highlights the disparity between appearance and true essence. What's truly powerful is that Cyrus' journey isn't about turning into Kris. It's about harmonizing his internal self with external presence. His shine isn't about a metamorphosis into another person. It's an unveiling of who he has always been inside. On a larger scale, this highlights how frequently individuals are misunderstood in reality. The most vocal individual is often recognized for concepts they didn't create. The most self-assured person is presumed to possess the greatest expertise. The person deemed most traditionally attractive is perceived as more competent. This isn't always deliberate. It's a matter of ingrained perceptions. In the film, a single misunderstanding takes on a symbolic meaning. At times, the world may attribute your genius to someone who merely appears to be a better fit for the part. The emotional essence of Cyrus's journey revolves around reclaiming that authorship, not only of his music, but also his very identity. This is because allowing your light to shine transcends mere talent. It involves standing firm against the world's attempts to mislabel your brilliance. I'm interested to know you all's thoughts on the matter because I think this is a layered conversation, but of course it goes into different bias and how we all tend to judge a book by its cover. We've all done it here and there, and we have to actively check ourselves and cast down these assumptions that we make because it's so easy to do so. And in this moment, we've seen how quickly it was easy to assume that Kris was Truth. It was so easy to assume that when the one who had the true talent, when the one who really was the one behind it was the one who didn't look like it. And I think like a great concept of this is kind of like, I would say Kanye West, when he had his backpack era and he was unique and different and had this preppy look, people were like, nah, you stay as producer. Like, you stay behind the scenes. Like, you stay behind the scenes. And he had to show them, like, no, I'm more than just this and I'm talented. I just look different than y'all. I don't fit your archetype and how you want me to look. So a lot of times, too, we have to break down those assumptions because it's people who look like they're not this and not that, but they actually are. So we also, too, have to be conscious of the assumptions that we make on a day-to-day. But as I always state, leave your thoughts and perspectives, but please, let's be respectful down within the comment section. And I want you all to remember that you are loved by the God who created the universe. He made you for such a special purpose. There is no mistake as to why you are here. So I thank you all so much for sharing this precious moment with me. And I can't wait to check you all out in the next video. Stay blessed, everyone.